So I just watched someone, a mother, basically vent about her husband, and in all fairness, by what she said, I would vent about him too. And apparently he always has his earbuds on and is watching TikTok, doesn't really pay attention to the kids, doesn't help her around the house or anything like that. And I've got a message for all you moms who's got lazy ass baby daddies, husbands, whatever. Leave their ass. Like, if you're doing everything anyway, what do you need them for? They just cause stress in your life.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
And for all of those pathetically single moms out there who feel like they need to give advice to married mothers who over-exaggerate on TikTok, mind your own stupid business. First off, there is no way what that woman is saying was even remotely true. We live in an age where a husband can do everything right, but even if he works all day, cooks dinner, does the dishes, and takes care of the kids, his wife will still feel justified in shaming him because he took a few minutes to scroll on his phone instead of folding laundry. Second off, think about the statement you made. What do you need him for if you're doing everything and causing stress in your life? There's one side that you're blatantly disregarding. You know, that tiny little detail of the kids. There's no way that the father is doing absolutely nothing with his children, and your immediate reaction is to screw up the children's lives by breaking up the family and dooming them to a life of zero guidance and regular run-ins with the friendly neighborhood juvenile detention facility. Smart thinking.
And she also said, this woman in her video says that it causes her more stress to go out and leave the kids with him. Like, girl, if you can't even leave your kids with your husband and be out and enjoy your time, that's a problem. I rather be single with my kids than have that kind of man in my house. You are a father. There are no headphones on when the kids are around. You do your part. You don't watch me slave away all day long and you sit on the couch and do nothing. You are to engage with the kids when you're home.
A smelly fish.
And it's not a cod.
Hate to break it to you, sister, but you are not fooling anybody. Let's just say that your husband was truly just sitting around all day, doing nothing and watching you quote-unquote slave away, whatever the hell that means. If that was the case, then you would have taken hours worth of videos to publicly document this man's neglect so you could use it for internet clout. What you really meant to say is that you resented this man for taking a break after working 8 to 10 hours a day to provide for you and the kids, and you feel like because you did 4.5 loads of laundry and made 8 peanut butter sandwiches, you toiled just as hard, if not harder, than that man, and you demand sympathy for the hard work of pressing buttons and spreading peanut slop on factory-processed bread food substance. And when we take a second to think about how you're doing nothing but mercilessly bashing this man instead of watching your kids, the idea of you in my kitchen making peanut butter sandwiches stresses me out to no end. So maybe you should put down the phone and slowly back away from the kitchen before somebody else gets hurt.
Like, don't allow that behavior. Allowing that behavior allows it to keep going. Leave him. Put your kids above him and leave his ass. That's all I'm gonna say. That kind of behavior, don't allow it. Say bye, take care of yourself. I'm gonna go live my life with my kids. Happily, stress-free. Thanks.
Congratulations!
Woman, what you are saying is literally impossible. I'm not saying there aren't deadbeat dads out there. There most certainly are, but I find it to be an odd coincidence that all of the sudden, seemingly out of nowhere, we have an entire generation of dads who apparently charm a woman into bed, get her to poop out a few babies, provide her with a house, food, electricity, and other amenities, and then sit around and do nothing else. These dads do interact with their kids. I would even dare say they even love them. The only problem is that if you recognized everything he does for the family, then you would need to find a different reason to feel dissatisfied with your life. So you decide to make everyone in your proximity as miserable as you. Then you get furious when everybody around you is miserable. That way you can justify the divorce and then justify telling other women to ruin their lives so they can be just as miserable as you. But I guess you don't count. After all, you just said that your life isn't miserable, so it must be true. You put it on the internet, right?
I can see that this discussion is going in circles. So we're gonna go now. Okay?
We have got the 4B movement. We've got bears. We've got bumble fumbles. And we've got a lot of boys up in arms. Listen, some women have had enough. The thrill is gone. They're done. They don't have any more fight for this man-woman thing left in them. So they just want to be left alone to live their quiet, peaceful lives with their animals, with their gardens, with their hobbies, with whatever brings them joy and peace, not bothering anyone and not being bothered by anyone.
Uh-huh. And let me know when Elvis gets here.
Oh, hi there, Granny Gertrude. How's that failing business treating you? Because you look terrible. Well, now that I got the obligatory compliments out of the way, we can get straight down to brass tacks. So let me pose you this query, Gertrude. If a woman truly has had enough and she just wants to go live her life in peace with her cats and her gardens and her boxed wine, then why does she feel the need to constantly be going online to create videos to bash an entire group of men that she's never met for things that they've never done? There are reasons why men are up in arms, as you so eloquently put it. It's mainly a reaction to the decades worth of verbal assaults made by women who constantly told us that we're terrible people for reasons that they never fully explained competently. And now that the ship known as human pair bonding is sinking straight into the depths of Davy Jones's locker, we're having a bunch of laughs at your expense. We might as well. You're the ones not shutting up about this.
Be it alone or together as an aggregate of other like-minded women that just want to live peacefully alone in our quiet little lady villages. But that idea of women just minding their own business is met with anger and criticism from some men. Phrases like, "if you dare," comments like, and I'm quoting here, "you'll be miserable and you'll all hate each other. You're going to be gay. Who will protect you? Who will you blame for your unhappiness? You won't have enough money. You won't have any place to live. Who will you call when you need electrical work?"
Well, we're waiting.
Okay, interesting move there, Gertrude. You say you want to live quietly in your lady villages and be left alone in peace, and when men bring up some legitimately good points, you just say that it's men being poopy butt faces. But that doesn't make it any less true, Gertrude. Where are you going to build this double X chromosome utopia? Who's gonna run it? Who's maintaining the infrastructure? What are you going to do when the Ayatollah of rock and rolla comes up in his assless chaps and demands tributes of gasoline and 12-gauge shotgun shells? And how are you gonna be able to function as a society when women will naturally want to gouge each other's eyes out over a minor disagreement over lip balm? And if you're going to live in some sort of closed-off community with a bunch of other physically weak, smelly, aged-out old broads, you kind of sort of have to have this stuff figured out instead of complaining about internet comments. Be a strong and independent woman and tell me how it's done, Gertrude.
If women are making a choice to live their life without men, and you are giving your criticism of it, it's like showing up to a special event when you're not even on the guest list.
Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Oh, Gertrude, you jealous, poor little rotted out sapling. I get it. You thought that after you got divorced, there would be a slew of gentlemen suitors just waiting to take you out for your second lease on life, only to find out that a majority of men have pretty much already checked out long before you ever could. And now that you want what we've been doing, you think you can just walk away after you relentlessly insulted us for decades on end. And I'm sorry, Gertrude, that's not how this works. If you want to go check out and live your life in peace, then go put your money where you shove that cake and go check out. Just do it. Stop recording and posting your cringe and go live silently. We won't care. The truth is, you're incapable of doing that, Gertrude. The comment section and the analytics of your channel are the only thing keeping you going in this life after you threw everything away. And as long as you keep putting your cringe online, it is fair game for anybody who wants to provide commentary. So I suggest you either get used to it or get offline and go check out. I won't lie to you, Gertrude. Either way, none of us could care any less.
Yikes. Well, good luck with all that.
Okay, we're coming. Babe,
yeah,
we got a call.
What's about?
We have someone with massive swelling And the swelling won't go down. We have to go.
Guys, let's go.
You know, something about that is just downright unsettling.
No, you stop that this instant, woman. What if there was an actual medical emergency? What if that swelling was caused by a closed head injury after an unfortunate accident over a civilized game of chess with dice? I bet you didn't think of that, did you? What kind of medical care could you provide while dressed like that? And I think it's safe to say that ambulance you obtained under suspicious circumstances isn't properly sterilized either. Being a medic is serious business, woman, and you besmirch the name of such a time-honored profession by combining it with the world's oldest profession, and that is not something the Medical Supply Office of the Intergalactic Space God Churachard, all hail, will abide. But let it not be known that his essence of shimmering cinnamon was never merciful. He will gladly sterilize the van for you, for that is the grace of his mercy. All hail!
Why do women say it's all men until it's no men? Case in point, Ted Bundy. You know what this creepy did? He'd put on a sling, or he would use crutches, or he would dress up in a police officer uniform or a firefighter uniform. And he would go up to women and charm them and ask them if they could help him get something from his car. And then once these women had their backs turned to this man, he would hit them over the head. Looks nice enough, right? He used the nice guy tactic and then admitted to unaliving 36 women. This is why all women treat men like a loaded...
Whoa. Well, this is a new one. I never thought in the million light years that I travel that I'd ever have to find myself saying this, but here we are. What I am about to say is in no way defending the atrocities caused by Ted Bundy. What that man did was completely abhorrent and evil, and the world is truly a better place without him. But even with that being said, don't you think you're being a teensy-weensy little bit unfair here? A massive portion of the male population are not violent criminals. In fact, we live in a world where women are all innocent cherubs who are believed no matter the context. If men were truly that evil, then there would be a lot more reports of men being locked up for being evil bastards. Believe it or not, it's actually kind of insulting how you'd rather accuse us all of being violent psychopaths instead of just accepting that not all men are evil. But hey, if you did that, that would mean accepting that you're wrong about something, and we all know you have a crippling fear of losing your victim card if you admitted that. So at the end of the day, we're just better off trying to convince a brick wall to not be solid. It's a lot more of a constructive use of our time.
The ones that we never suspected to be that guy turned out to be that guy. Seemed like he had good intentions, he did not seem threatening, and then we let our guard down and we paid a huge price for it. And some of these women have paid that price with their lives. The guy that looked like this, that had this golden retriever energy, turned out to actually be this guy. And then it's too late and you're cornered. Just try to get away from that guy. Men can say all they want. Good guys are out there, blah, blah. Of course there are, but better safe than sorry has never applied more.
I must have missed 60 minutes. What are you saying?
Nope. Sorry, woman. You don't get to do that. You can't just say there are good men out there, but then argue that all men are evil because of something that happened back in the 1970s. If anybody needs to be exercising caution, it's men, and that's because men are seldom believed when they report any crime done to them by women. If a woman who acts like a golden retriever when she first meets the man, only to go werewolf and become violent after the fact, the man is laughed at and told that he probably deserved it. He's also told that it's impossible for a woman to force herself on him, and if a woman falsely accuses him of assault, then even without evidence, that man's life will be destroyed beyond repair. And all of these things are more likely to happen than some cold-blooded monster from the 70s, but you don't hear us complaining and acting like victims. We don't blame all women because that's unfair. But that doesn't stop us from being cautious because, believe it or not, women can be evil as well. The only difference is that you have a better chance of getting away with yours. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of humor is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button. Ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. And as a palate cleanser from all that talk about Ted Bundy, why don't you check out the album Rotting Pinata by Sponge. Seriously, this is one of the most underrated albums of the 1990s, and I do not say that lightly. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.